Hello everyone, and welcome to Math 1314 Online College Algebra for Fall. My name is Terry Barnes and I'll be helping you through this journey. If you're watching this video, it means you've already logged on to MathLab and you've gotten yourself set up. Be sure that the email that you put in for your account is one that you will check. When I send class emails, I don't look at individual email addresses. It is whatever is set up in here. And you would have to change that if it's not getting to you, it's going to a different one, because whatever you put here is what will be used, and you can certainly change that. So what I'd like to do in this short time that we have in the video is to let you know what everything is in the course and what the expectations are. So if you're watching this, you've already looked at this button, the orientation video. We're going to go through the other buttons fairly quickly and just give you an overview of what they are. And again, this is the only place you will do work. You will not go back to Blackboard at all. That was just a jumping off place for everyone. So this is where your work will be handled, and you can manage this from your desktop, your laptop, your phone, iPad, tablet. Just about any device is good for doing our work. So, syllabus. We're not going to read the entire syllabus for sure, and I know you're sad about that, but you could do it on your own. Let's look at a couple of things, though, that will be important for you to see and know. Let's go here. The instructor information is in the syllabus, so you might want to print it just for that, if nothing else. Here is my email address, my office phone, my office location in the math building. 7:30 to 8 a.m. I am in the office every day and available to meet. Mondays and Wednesdays, that's probably going to change. What I would say for my online students is make an appointment. If you need to see me or get with me on campus, just contact me and we'll set up a time to get together. You already have this, I'm assuming, if you were here listening. You absolutely have to have a calculator to be successful in this course. So those are the two things that you do have to have. Remember that free access, if you did free access to get going, it lasts 14 days, and you have to pay for that within those 14 days or your account will go inactive. So we need to be sure that we've done that. Let's skip through some of this. All right, in your course grading, homework is 30% of your average, tests are 50%, and the final exam is 20%. Before every test is available, you must pass all the homework in that chapter with at least a 70. If you don't pass it, the test won't open, and that should make sense to you. You need to have passed homework in order to be ready for the test. Let's go down here. Attendance, here's the MCC policy right here. For me, in this course, because it's online, please pay attention. Attendance is based on participation. You should have activity, either working in homework or taking a test every week. So that means you could go in and work a few problems in one homework section, and that would actually count as your attendance. I'm going to run a report every Sunday, and that will determine whether you were absent or present that previous week. If you logged no work, it will count as an absence. You're only allowed 4 such weeks of inactivity, and then you could be dropped. So if you end up on that list, you'll get an email on Sunday saying you didn't log any work last week, and I keep track of that. So please make sure you do something each week as far as counting for attendance. So we will go back here, and then let's look at the calendar. This is a suggested calendar. It has nothing to do with due dates, but for people who like to have something to look at as far as what should I be doing, this one is set up that way. By weeks, what you should be doing, what you could be testing on, but again, it is not tied to due dates. And so if you don't get that done that week, it's not going to hurt you at all. We'll talk more about the homework when we get to that button. But it is just a suggested calendar. All right, Next button says handouts. There's quite a few handouts here, and we're going to go through each of them because I think they're pretty important. The first one is some calculator phone apps. If you do not have an actual calculator in your possession and you don't have the money to buy one, which some people are in that boat for sure, I have found two phone apps that work fairly well. The first one for Android users. I'm an Android person myself, and I've been using this one for quite a while on my phone. This is the name of it. If you do a search for it, it is free, and it is an exact replica of the TI calculator. So that's a really good one. If you have an iPhone, and I don't have an iPhone, I do have an iPad, but this one my sister actually found, and it is a fairly good representative. The second calculation menu is totally different. You have to do a couple of things, but you actually get the same end result. This costs about $5.99, I believe, on the iPhone. So if you have that, that might be a lifesaver if you don't have the money to buy the full calculator. So that list will be there for you to reference. You have to take a calculator test. If you're familiar with the calculator, you'll just need to review it. If you don't know how to use the calculator, this is where you will start. This is not to turn in. This is for your information only. In other words, if you wanted to look at finding intercepts and you click on the worksheet, you click here, you're going to get a PDF worksheet. It looks like this. It says for each equation, find the y-intercept, find the x-intercept. And you would go through and you would work on that. Next to that is a video showing how to do those exact equations and find the intercepts. So this really is concept driven, and so I think that could help you if you do not know much about the calculator. Next is the answers to all those worksheets. And then finally, calculator review. If you think you're ready to take the test, and the test is online and it is open from day one, there's a blank review, one that has some work printed on it, and a video of me working the review. This you should go over before you take the calculator exam. It will prepare you for that exam. And you can take that exam as many times as you want. You're trying to get 100. You must have passed it before you can take any other chapter test. So it's worthwhile to get that going and get that out of the way as soon as possible. As long as you pass it, you could move forward. You could go back and try it again throughout the semester till you get 100. All right? Reference sheets. There are several reference sheets. This formulas and models, lots of things that I refer to. You should print that. It would be helpful for you as you take tests. The helpful hints would be helpful. Regression, chart of powers, and matrices. I would print all of those. These calculators in here, those are just kind of some tutorials that might help you. But I would print the first, the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and have those out as reference when you're working and taking tests. Finally, there is a final exam review items. When you're ready for that, print it. It tells you which homework questions to focus on to prepare for that final exam. All right, the next three buttons are crucial as how the course is set up. If you've used MathLab before, if you've had me before, you would know how this is set up, but if not, let's go through. I would say problem sets are like having a book, and if I said open to section 1.3, these are the problems we're going to go over, and you would go here and you're given a set of problems, and they're blank problems. All right, so that's like having the book that I've told you what I want you to do. Then the next button says lecture notes. All right, so again, you would, if you were in class, you would be taking these lecture notes, or at least reading along if I were doing things on the screen. So these are all the lecture notes for this section, and you get down and these are those blank problem sets, except they've got work in them now. So they'll help you as you try to do the problems there is that to help you with those. The next button down is lecture videos. So on chapter 1, we've been looking at everything from 1.3. So if I do that, and I play this video. This is section 1.3 in college algebra, functions and their representations. Want to get a couple of definitions out of the way. All right, so you can see that there is a video of my lecture on that section, and there is one for every section you will be covering. So you have the lecture notes, you have the video of me working the problems, and you have some blank problem sets to kind of create your work. So I would do everything for 1.3, and then I'd go do the homework for 1.3. I would do everything for 1.4, I'd go do the homework for 1.4. I have students who do all the homework, and then at the end of the course, they're doing all the tests. I do not recommend that. That seems not to be the optimum way to do it. Do everything in chapter 1, each one doing its homework, then do chapter 2, then there's an exam on chapter 1 and 2. I would do that, get that out of the way. So that's my suggestion for you as to how to approach the course. Here's your homework button, and you can see that all the homeworks are listed here. Every one of them is a clickable link. The due date is December 8th at 3 p.m. So what that means is every homework's available at the beginning. It's all due at the end of the semester. You make your own schedule. I gave you a suggested schedule, but as long as you're doing something every week, you can make your own schedule as far as, I'm going to get these 3 chapters done in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to try to finish the course in 10 weeks. Whatever you choose to do is fine, as long as you are doing something every week and that you know at the end it is all due. So complete flexibility, but also complete responsibility. Let's look at section 1.3 on the homework. You'll notice there's 9 questions. Let's look at question 1. Trying to load. All right, and question 1 should resemble the questions and the problem sets that you did in prep to do this homework. So by the time you've looked at the problem set, the lecture note, the video, then this homework should be relatively simple. So you will go through these. There are some aids over here on the right. If you see, there's help me solve this, view an example, the textbook, ask my instructor, and print. So view an example is going to work a problem completely all the way through. Help me solve this will just prompt you and wait for you to answer in this question and just kind of guide you through it. Ask my instructor, if you click on that, you get an email that's going directly to me, and it will tell me which problem you are working on, and then you can type in here the problem that you are having with it. What, Ms. Barnes, I'm ready to throw my computer. I've been working on it for an hour. This is what I'm doing. What's going on? And I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. So that is a way that goes directly to me. And if you wanted to print the question and bring it to me on campus, or print it so you could look at it better, you can certainly do that. And you move on through these, and it says you're not going to get any credit because you didn't do an answer. Are you sure you want to go on? Yes, because you can always come back to these. Now, if it's something where there's a box to put an answer in, when I clicked there, then over here this palette became live. And so if you need a fraction or a mixed number, an exponent, a radical, an absolute value, all those are right here, and there's a few more if you click on more. So you have what you need for your symbols and that sort of thing. And you wanna save when you are through. So but I'm gonna click out of here, and I wanna leave this page. It's always gonna warn you to not do that. And you can come back anytime and finish it. If you answer a question wrong 3 times in a row, it will generate a new question for you. So there really is no excuse not to get 100. Keep trying. Keep doing it till you get it correct. That will only help you. If you are taking tests, you can go to quizzes and tests, and you can see they are all listed here. They are also due December 8th at 3 p.m. These little flags show you the prereqs. Remember I said you had to pass all your homework? So you can see you have to do a 70 on all of those before you could open the test. And you have to pass the calculator test. So all of these tests have prereqs. Calculator test is here. You have, let's see if I can move this over. You can't see, but over here, let me see if I can fix that. Well, I can't make it show you, but over here under attempts, calculator says 0 of infinity, so you can do that as many times as you want. Each chapter test you can do twice. The higher grade will count in your average, and the final exam you have 1 try. There's 2 hours on each of these chapters, and final exam there's 90 minutes on the calculator exam. If you have any questions about that, be sure and let me know. I would suggest that when you get ready to take an exam and you're ready to do, say, the chapter 1 and 2 test, and you click on it, you take it, and say you made a 73. And that's passing, but you expect you want to do better. So you review the test in the grade book and see which ones you missed. Make sure you understand why and how to do it correctly. And then you can go in and take it the second time. So you should be better. You will have known what to expect and what you missed. I would say that's the best way to approach the tests. Okay. This FAQ button has some questions that have been sent to me that I thought were worthwhile, and so if you have a question on 1.3 number 4, you might check here before you email, because there probably is a video that might help you. This is just a growing process. I've just started doing that, but when someone has a question that I think you'd benefit from, I do put them here, some of them. So be sure you check that. That might be helpful. Your grade book. People are forever saying, can you tell me what I have? And here's your grade book, and it'll list all your homework, all your tests right here. But if you click on this button right here, it will show you your average. So you will always know exactly where you stand in the course. All right. Last button, chapter contents. If you wanted to look at the book, you could. You could go to chapter 1. And remember, we started, let's go to 1-3 and look at the textbook. I don't think you need this, but if you want to, you certainly have paid for access to the book. I've kind of pulled out everything that I wanted you to know and what I expect you to know, but there's certainly more in the text for you. It's a great ebook. And you can highlight in it. You can mark a page to come back to. But here's the book, and you can just go through it and get whatever you need out of it. I've got it zoomed way out. We can make it certainly smaller. But it's a great ebook, and you can go through the table of contents here and go wherever you'll need. You'll see some of these charts I've pulled and put in the notes. So it's a really good ebook, and I would suggest if you want to go in and browse through that. I think that is it. I would say on Course Home to be sure and check for announcements here. I'll try to email those as well, but that will be the way that I communicate with you. And if you need to communicate to me, I would ask that you put in the subject line Math 1314 88 and your name. And that way I can find you. Even if I have several online classes going on, I'll know which one you're in, and I can better help you then. So I look forward to working with you, and I wish you luck, and hopefully we'll be in contact soon.